Alright, trickers and trickers, time for the final episode review of the day with Devil's Due. The USS Enterprise receives a distress call from Dr. Howard Clark, leader of a Federation scientific delegation on Ventex II, where the population is in a state of panic because they are convinced that their world will soon end. After the Enterprise arrives, they rescue Dr. Clark, who brings them up to date. 1,000 years ago, according to Ventexian history, the population entered a Faustian deal with Ardra, their mythology's devil. In exchange for ending wars and restoring the ecological balance, and improving their heavily polluted planet, the population would become the personal slaves of Ardra 1,000 years later. As the millennium is about to come to a close, the planet has recently begun experiencing violent earthquakes, as well as seeing images of Ardra in the skies. These were said to be signs of her arrival. As Captain Picard and Commander Data discuss the matter with the Ventexian leader, a woman appears in the chamber, announcing herself as Ardra. She proves her identity by starting an earthquake at will, and transforming both into the Christian and then the Klingon devil. Ardra states that she has come to claim the planet. Picard is instantly suspicious and orders Data to examine the contract that was supposedly signed by Ardra and the leaders of the planet 1,000 years ago. Picard returns to the Enterprise afterwards, and Ardra appears on the bridge sitting in the captain's chair. Security Chief Worf tries to remove her without success. Data returns just then and confirms the language of the contract as well as Ardra's claim to the planet, including anything in orbit, including the Enterprise. Later, in a meeting with the senior staff, Picard expresses his belief that she's a con artist, points out that all of her powers can be recreated with theatrically delivered technology. After the meeting, Picard goes to bed for the evening. As Picard sleeps, Ardra appears and tries to seduce him, but he rejects her. She transports him to the planet dressed in his pajamas. Data comes to collect Picard by shuttle after Worf is unable to transport him back the normal way. When Picard and Data attempt to return the Enterprise, the ship disappears. Not knowing what to do, they return to the planet. Citing old legal precedent, Picard calls for a Ventexian arbitration hearing, which Ardra agrees to as long as Data acts as the arbitrator, as he will act with impartiality, to which Picard agrees. During the course of the hearing, Chief Engineer LaForge and Clark discover that Ardra has a cloaked ship nearby, that she is indeed using technology to simulate magic, and that she's a known criminal. Picard has an away team led by Commander Riker to take control of Ardra's ship, giving Picard control of Ardra's powers. He demonstrates the fraud, and she is taken into custody by local authorities. Picard explains to the leader of the planet that the people themselves improve their planet gradually through hard work and dedication. They sure did. So anyway, let's look at some production notes about this episode. The episode was originally developed for a premise for the cancelled Star Trek Phase 2, although it underwent significant changes. The first read in a memo dated August 16, 1977, as part of a status update for the cancelled series. The only other episode of Phase 2 to be redeveloped for the next generation was the child from Season 2. In the original version, the Enterprise visits Natera and meets the planet's leader, Zolar. I guess that's how it's pronounced. It's spelled Z-X-O-L-A-R, but yeah, whatever. He was concerned that Captain Picard is an alien called Comethiter, who was due to return within 20 days to destroy their world. Zolar suddenly collapses, and Dr. McCoy tries to help him, but an energy surrounds the doctor's head, and he runs out of wall and disappears. The landing parties search for McCoy, but to no avail, as Zolar is beamed to the Enterprise. Dr. Chapel attempts to help him, but the energy appears around her, and she passes out. Son and Kirk discuss the energy and realize it wants Zolar to die, as it has attacked anyone who helps him. The pair beam back down the planet to investigate the palace they met Zolar in and discover an archive which shows them the original agreement made by 6 philosophers, including much younger Zolar, and Comethiter 1,000 years earlier. They note one of the philosophers is Zolar, and the Comethiter is an energy being which attacked the 2 doctors. As in the later version used on Star Trek The Next Generation, The agreement was that the being would correct the pollution of the planet in return for ownership of the planet 1,000 years later. Zahn and Kirk decide to move Zolan to a life support table and asks for other volunteers, and it's apparent that Communicator will attack them if they attempt to save him. Scotty, Sulu, and Chekhov all volunteer as well, and the alien disables each of them as they move Zolar. And it's only because of Zon's strength that he is being attacked that they manage to attach Zolar to a life support machine, and his life signs immediately improve. Zolar tells Kirk about the contract, who retrieves it from the planet's surface and challenges it. Communicator appears and agrees to a trial with the Enterprise's computer acting as an impartial judge. Kirk realizes that Communicator was created by the 6 philosophers, and so, as the last remaining, Zolar is in control of it. Zolar manages to defeat the creature using his will and releases the stunned crewman. He finds that McCoy was trapped in the wall itself and releases him too, the Enterprise departing shortly thereafter. The story was once again brought up during a story pitch for Season 3 of Next Generation, and it was modified by several staff writers. Micropillar made several changes, including making the Devil character female. Marta Dubois was cast as Ardra after Stella Stevens and Adrienne Barbeau were also considered. Paul Lambert had previously appeared in the episode When the Bell Breaks as a member of the Aldean race. The episode illustrates Arthur C. Clarke's third law. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So overall, I'd say this is a pretty good episode, and it's one of those episodes that after you watch it, you're like, wow, that was so cool. So overall, I give Devil's Due 4 warp cores out of 5. Well, join me tomorrow. Star Trek Temper continues on with Clues. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.